Hi, this is Jamie Arenthal. Welcome to your Vinyasa yoga class. Remember that you can modify all poses, make them fit your body and not the other way around. Use straps, use blocks, use chairs, whatever you need to help you manage each pose in comfort and ease. The word sukha in Sanskrit means with ease. So we want our yoga poses to be this combination of sthira and sukha. So it's the hard and the soft, the challenge and the ease. Let's go. So coming to a standing position at the front of your mat, go ahead and lift your toes, spread them out and lay them back down. And then notice the arches in your feet. See if you can activate them as if your feet are almost little suction cups on the earth. And then lift your kneecaps up, engage Mula Bandha. That's the perineum, engage. Let the heart lift. See if you could stack your spine, one vertebra over the other. Notice if you are tilting your chin up in the air. Instead, see if you can level out your jawline, making the front and the back of your neck the same length. And then circle the shoulders, take them forward, lift them up, back, and down. And I just want to point out that when I circle shoulders, I usually just focus on this direction instead of the other way. So we could try it. So lift your shoulders up, roll them forward and down. So what does this remind you of? This is kind of like where we are on the computer and when we're not paying attention. So instead, if we focus on circling forward, up, back, and down, now our posture is beautiful. And my goal in teaching yoga is to improve our posture and to strengthen the muscles that keep us in good posture. And it's not, not normal to be in perfect posture all the time, but as many times as you can remember, go ahead, circle those shoulders up, back, and down. By doing this, our palms can face forward, and now we find ourselves in mountain pose, Tadasana. Go ahead and close your eyes here, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Taking just a few moments here to still the mind, to settle into our yoga practice, to gain that steadiness, that sthira that we look for. And what is balance? Balance is maybe the midpoint between the sthira and the sukha, between the hard and the soft. I do find myself trying to find that midpoint. And now I'm really working on accepting the fluctuations, the swing like a pendulum from side to side in my life, acknowledging that life is 50-50, acknowledging that we will swing through perfection and joy and ease, and then we'll find that challenge and struggle again. So try and keep that in mind during our yoga practice today, and I will remind you of it when appropriate, just noticing that fluctuation and be okay with it. Go ahead and float your eyes open. Inhale your arms up, gaze up, palms together, and then exhale your prayer through heart center to fold. Knees can be soft. Walk your hands halfway up, look forward, inhale. And then exhale, pull your belly button in and round over, nose to knees. Knees are soft. And then this time, bend your knees a lot. Roll yourself up one vertebra at a time. Head comes up last, and then readjust those shoulders up, back, and down. We'll do that again, and I'll show you sideways. Inhaling, gaze up. Exhaling, forward fold. Halfway up, inhale. Notice the back, the spine is extended like a cow pose. And as we exhale, pull the belly button in, nose to knees like a cat pose. Bend your knees a lot, roll yourself up, head last to come up, and shoulders up, back, and down. One more time. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Knees bent, roll up. And readjust, coming back to Tadasana. Let's start with our sun salutations. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway up. And exhale, nose to knee. Step the right leg back and lower the right knee on the floor. You can keep the toes curled or release them. Hook your thumbs. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Make sure that right thigh is on a diagonal. So you're not right on top of your kneecap. You're kind of above it, and your stretch is coming from that right hip flexor, the front of that right thigh. Exhale, hands down, step back, downward facing dog. So this is your first downward dog of the day. Keep the knees soft and maybe pedal your heels, massaging through the bottom of each foot, one at a time. And then roll up to your tippy toes. Inhale forward to plank. Plank, one long line, that spine is in alignment. Notice if your head is hanging. Instead, see if you could align your cervical spine with the rest of your spine. And then our first Chaturanga is modified. So exhale, knees to the floor, chin and chest down. And as you inhale, slide forward, point the toes behind you, and peel chin and chest off the mat, baby cobra. Notice hips are still on the mat and elbows are bent and in by rib cage. Exhale, melt your way down, forehead or chin touches the mat, and push yourself back onto your heels, child's pose. Curl toes, downward facing dog. And let's lift the right leg up. As you exhale, pull the right knee toward your nose and shift shoulders over wrists. Hug that knee in. Just feel the core working here. And then as you inhale, send that right heel back up to the sky. One leg dog. Two more. Exhale. Bring the knee forward, shoulders over wrist, gaze forward. And inhale, right heel up to the sky. This time, exhale, bring that knee forward, hover, and place the right foot on the floor between your hands. You can always use your right hand to help. And we'll take a twist, but first lower the left knee. You could place the right hand on your right knee and ease your torso around. A nice gentle rotation. Of course, you can always reach that right arm to the sky. If this ever bothers your knee, being your left knee on the floor, you can always lift that knee up off the floor. That's an option. But notice the right knee is bent at a 90-degree angle. Right heel directly below my right knee. And that'll save on some wear and tear on the ligaments that hold the right knee. Bring the right hand down, step the left foot forward, have your forward fold. See if you could shake it out. Shake your head no, shake your head yes. And then you have that option. You could keep the knees bent and roll your way up, or to reverse swan dive, walk your hands halfway up. So come into that beautiful erect spine and then float the arms out to the side. This is working the muscles running up and down your spine, erector spinae. My knees are bent here. Press into the floor with my feet and legs working to lift up for reversing the swan dive. And then exhale, prayer to heart, and release the hands, Tadasana. Inhale, arms up, palms together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen your spine. And exhale, forward fold, nose to knees. Left leg steps back, lower the left knee on the floor, hook your thumbs, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Left thigh at a diagonal, right knee, 90-degree angle. Your left toes could be curled under. And as I mentioned briefly on the other side, you could always lift that left knee off the floor if you wanted for a high lunge. When you're ready, exhale the hands down, step it back, downward facing dog. Use that pedaling motion here to ease out any of that tension in your Achilles tendons and calves. Just let it feel good. And then up on the tippy toes, inhale forward to plank, head aligned with spine. Modified vinyasa, exhale knees, chin, chest. Elbows in. Inhale, baby cobra. Toes down. I see so many feet flying up in the air here. Glue your toenails down, lift your kneecaps up. Nice. And then melt your way back down, chin or forehead on the mat. Child's pose. So use your arms. Push up away from the floor. Sit yourself back on your heels, child's pose. And I'll mention now, feel free to rest in child's pose whenever you need it. Curl the toes under. Find your downward facing dog. Knees can be soft. Let's lift the left leg up. Inhale up. And as you exhale, bend the knee and hug it in. Walk your shoulders forward, hovering. And then inhale, left leg up, one leg dog, 2 more times. Exhale forward, hug that knee in, use your core here. And inhale, send that heel up. Last time, exhale, hug it in, hover, hover, and step that left foot forward. Good, use your hand if you need to. Let's lower the right knee this time. Left hand on the left knee and gently rotate the torso into that first twist. And you can, of course, reach the left arm up to the sky. Notice what's happening with the back of your neck here. Are you throwing your head back, or can you keep the front and back of your neck the same length? And again, remember, knee could be off the floor. Release the left hand down. Step the right foot forward. Forward fold. Let's try reverse swan dive. So inhale halfway up. Really engage your core. What do I mean by that? Pull in the belly button. Pull in the sides of your waist like you're trying to button the waistband of a kind of tight pair of pants. Keep it there. Knees are soft, and use your legs to lift yourself up to reverse that swan dive. And exhale, centering breath to your heart. Let's pick it up a little bit. Release the arms, Tadasana, right by your side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, forward fold. Right leg steps back. We can keep this into a high lunge. Inhale the arms by ears, Anjaneyasana. Keep lifting that back knee. Make sure the left knee is right over that left heel, right? Notice if you have to make adjustments and step one foot back a little further, you decide. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's come through the full vinyasa here, but it's always up to you which vinyasa you want to do or none at all. Inhale, plank, one long line. Remember, your gaze is ahead of the top of your mat. Exhale, halfway down, only elbows bending, legs straight. Inhale to the tops of your feet, roll the shoulders back, collarbones spreading, gaze up. And then exhale with straight legs, curl toes, find down dog. Inhale the right leg up. Use that core. Exhale, hug that knee in, hover a moment, and then quietly step that foot down. Right arm up to the sky for a twist. That right knee is 90-degree angle. Release the hands, step it forward, forward fold. Halfway up, really engage the waist, reverse the swan, and exhale, centering breath to heart. Tadasana. One more time on the left side. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back, whether your fingertips meet the floor here or hands are pressing into your shins, still elongate that spine as much as you can. And then exhale, release it, nose to knees. Left foot steps back. Make sure it's a big enough step. Arms by ears, high lunge or Anjaneyasana. Keep pressing the left heel behind you, bending the right knee. Right knee is over that right heel or ankle for 90 degrees or less, yeah? Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale to those tippy toes, find your plank. Exhale, Chaturanga, halfway or all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale your way back to downward dog. Whether that includes child's pose or not is up to you. You have time. Inhale, left heel up. Exhale, bring the knee forward and hover. Really hug it in. I want you to use your core and then step that left foot down between your hands. Adjust with your left hand if need be. Left arm up to sky. Keep lifting that right knee up. Keep bending that left knee. And then release left hand down, right foot forward, forward fold, let it go. Reverse swan, inhale halfway first, and then arms out to the side, palms touch, exhale, centering breath at your heart. So if you just had 10 minutes and wanted to do something for yourself, your yoga practice, this could be perfect, right? You've gone through all the movements of the spine, forward bending, back bending, twisting. We haven't done side bends. So inhale those arms up to the sky. You could interlace your hands in Kali Mudra with the pointers up tight, up together, pointing up. Engage your core here. So if you have a big arch in your back, you just want to see if you can point that tailbone down. And we don't want to overdo, we don't want to flatten that lower back. We just want to be stable in the hips. Take a bend over to your right side. And if this is too much, you could always place your right hand on that hip to support you as you side bend. Inhale to come up to the top and exhale over to your left side again. Could you use some support? You could take that left hand to that left hip for the bend. It's up to you. And then inhale back to center. Exhale right. Inhale center. Exhale left. And back to center. Bring those hands to a prayer at your heart. So let's move into some sun salutations with our warriors. Feeling warmed up? All right, and that's about, I think, 10 minutes in. Let's see, maybe a little bit more. All right, so your feet are parallel. You can lift the toes up and spread them out. If you prefer, your feet can touch. I like mine hip width apart for balance. Chair pose, inhale, arms by ears. Exhale, forward fold, nose to knees. Inhale, prepare, look forward. If you have a jump in your practice, you're looking forward, jumping back. Otherwise, step your right, step your left. As you exhale, start your Vinyasa, Chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing dog. Exhale for downward facing dog. We'll lift that right leg up. This time, open your hip. So stack the right hip over the left, point right toe to the sky. So my belly button is trying to point right toward the screen. And then square off your shoulders a little bit here. And if you like, you can bend the right knee.
notice my right knee is higher than my right foot. So if you're not getting that hip rotation, this is really a twist, right? Opening up through that waist. I can feel this in my quadratus lumborum. That's like the right love handle. And then exhale the right foot between your hands, placing those fingertips on the floor, left heel down. Again, using your feet, not your back to get up. Think of that long spine here. Press that right heel down and inhale up for warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1. For those of you who want it, you could place palms together. If that creates too much stress for you in the neck and shoulders, arms shoulder width apart. That's where I like to be. Keep your gaze forward. Separate your arms and open up for warrior two. So maybe that left toe kind of points out to the side a little bit more. We want that right knee at a 90-degree angle. And then right palm tips open to the sky. If you like, you can take a bind here. You can bring that left arm behind you for support and then reach that right arm up. And for those of you who want a little bit more, you can try to enlace your fingers behind you. This is Gomukhasana, cow face arms. Continue looking up toward that right arm or elbow, left arm pressed into that back. Nice. And then you can release the arms and cartwheel the hands to the floor. Step back into your plank, your vinyasa, take it away. From downward dog, left leg up, point the toe and peel that left hip open. So you're stacking left hip over right, letting that toe aim toward the sky, square off your shoulders. And then for some of us, bend the left knee. Just notice that my left knee is higher than my left foot. And this way I get that stretch in my left love handle, quadratus lumborum. Think about what those words mean. Quadratus, it means there's quad, there's 4 attachments. It's kind of like putting your hands on your waist, and those are kind of the attachments in front and back. Lumborum, that's your lumbar spine, lower spine. So it's supporting this waist, this love handle is supporting your lumbar spine. And then go ahead and step left foot forward. Fingertips. So we want to use the fingertips on the floor to extend our spine. Lower your right heel. Press your left heel into the floor and inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Bend that left knee, straighten the right leg. And again, your option, if you want palms to touch, just keep those shoulders down as much as you can. Stay relaxed. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. And then keep your gaze forward, part your arms to the sides for warrior two, and maybe that right toe opens up a little bit. And then turn that left palm to face up. Maybe take that right arm behind you for support. Let your eyes follow that left hand as you lift that arm up to the sky. And then for those of you who did it on the other side, you can interlace those fingers behind you, Gomukhasana arms, and then continue looking up either toward that elbow or that hand. Can you feel that stretch in your waist on the left side? Release your arms, cartwheel hands to the floor, step it back, Vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Take 5 breaths here. In this down dog, try and press all of your fingers into the mat, pressing the fingertips down, taking some of the pressure off your wrists. Pull those shoulder blades down your back, shoulders away from ears. See if you can slide your tailbone up even more. Crown of head must point toward the floor. And then maybe those heels can drop down a little closer to the floor. Bend your knees, look between your hands. You could step right, step left, or use your core here. Belly button in, pop those feet forward. Inhale, flat back to lengthen your spine, and exhale, forward fold. Bend knees, circle arms. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, stand to Tadasana. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, left foot, right foot, or hop. Vinyasa. Downward dog, right leg up. Down dog, split open that right hip, maybe bend that right knee. Right foot forward. Warrior one. Warrior two. Peaceful warrior with or without bind. Vinyasa. Downward dog. Left leg up. Maybe bend. Left foot forward. Warrior one. Warrior two. Peaceful warrior with or without bind. Vinyasa. Five breaths. A reminder that this could be on your knees in child's pose. If you are staying in downward dog, think of extending that spine, lifting that tailbone higher, dropping that crown lower. Again, the front and back of neck are same length, right? You're neither tucking your chin or extending your cervical spine. Just keep everything nice and long. And maybe you can drop those heels a little closer to the floor. From downward dog, look forward, bend your knees, step left, right, or hop. Flat back, inhale. Exhale and fold. Chair pose. And Tadasana. Two more times. Chair. Fold. Prepare. Vinyasa. Down dog. Right leg. Warrior one. Warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Vinyasa. Downward dog. Left leg up. Warrior one. Warrior two. Peaceful warrior. Vinyasa. Downward dog. 5 breaths. Bend knees. Look forward. Step, step, or jump. Flat back. Extend your spine, unfurl. Fold. Chair pose. Mountain pose. Last time like that. Chair. Fold. Prepare. Vinyasa. Down dog. Right leg. Warrior 1. Warrior 2. Peaceful warrior. Vinyasa. Left leg up. Warrior 1. Warrior 2. Peaceful warrior. Vinyasa. Downward dog. 5 breaths. Look forward. Step or hop. Flat back. Forward fold. Chair pose. Mountain pose. Bring your hands to a prayer at your heart. Close your eyes. Notice what you feel. Can you feel the energy moving from your crown down to your toes and back up from your feet, all the way back up to your heart center? There's a form of pranayama, breathing exercise called a circle breath, where we imagine we are inhaling through the crown, and that breath, that energy is moving down our backs, down our spines, all the way down to the tailbone. And then as we begin to exhale, that breath wraps around under our groin, comes up through the front of the body, and exits behind the heart or through the neck, behind us. Let's try that for a moment. And then go ahead, float your eyes open, preparing for dancer pose, Nataranja. So I always have my chair handy just in case, and I will try and do the opposite. Actually, no, I will not. I'll stick with you. So we stand in mountain pose. Again, moving those collarbones nice and wide, broadening across the shoulders, palms face forward. We'll start by standing on the left foot and go ahead and lift your right knee up. We'll reach for that right ankle and pull that heel towards our buttock. And make sure the right knee is pointing down, right? I see this a lot. Instead, see if you can just relax and point that knee down.
And this is to protect the knee, right? Take that left arm up by your ear, thumb pointing back, and start with the foot. So see if you can start to move that right toe back behind you. You're creating that tension in that right arm. And then maybe you'll start to hinge at that left hip to bring the body parallel to the floor. Maybe. You could hold on. You could come halfway. Any variation is up to you. Whichever pose you've chosen, try and focus on a spot that is not moving. Really soften the muscles around your eyes. Keep the breath smooth, even, continuous. Two more breaths wherever you are. And then come back to that vertical pose and release the right foot. Bring that left arm back behind you. Let's interlace those fingers behind us. You can soften your knees here and hinge forward. See if you can tuck your chin. Crown points to the floor, knuckles point toward the sky. My knees are definitely bent here to soften the hamstrings and protect my lower back. And then if you like, you can release the hands to the floor and roll yourself up one vertebra at a time. That feels good on my back. Circle those shoulders back down and around. So Tadasana pose. Standing on the right foot this time, bending the left knee. See if you can reach for that left ankle, right arm to the sky, thumb points back behind you. Starting with the left toe. Remember, those knees are together, right? Don't let that left knee splay out to the side. See if you can keep your hips square and start to point that left toe up to the sky. And maybe you'll hinge forward on that right hip crease. Maybe you'll come to horizontal with that body, maybe not. Again, you can always hold on for support. You've chosen this spot to gaze at softly with your eyes. And here's the perfect blending of sthira and sukha. So the sthira, where are you feeling that sturdiness? Maybe the connection of your foot to the ground. Maybe that stretch that's happening as you pull that left foot away from your left hand. And where's the sukha? Maybe in your gaze, in your breath, in your heart. Wherever you are, you've got two more breaths. And then you can release the left foot, release that right arm, interlace your hands behind you again, but switch the order. So different thumb on top. Stretch your heart open, bend the knees, and hinge forward, chin to chest. Crown points to floor, knuckles point towards sky. And if I failed to say it before, see if you can get the heels of your hands to touch. Maybe yes, maybe no. Then you can release those arms, bend the knees, and roll up one vertebra at a time. Go ahead and circle those shoulders up, back, and down. Beautiful. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, swan dive, let it go. Coming halfway up, inhale. And exhale, fold, stepping both feet behind you, whether you're jumping or stepping, you can take a vinyasa, optional. And let's point the right toes up to the sky. So for some of you, this is where you are going to hang for the next moment, just breathing. For some of us, we bend the right knee. Keep the left leg straight. We're going to flip our dogs, but I want you to do this with your left leg straight, like a side plank, which is great core strengthening. There's also a bit of a twist here. So go ahead and roll onto the outer edge of your left foot and place your right foot on the floor behind you.
So just notice my left foot is flexed like crazy, right? Right arm up to the sky. And then if you want, you can bring that right arm by your right ear. Another way flipping the dog is done is we turn that left foot to match the right. And we have like a tabletop here. And then this could go to full wheel. I'm not going to do it today, but just for those people with the back issues, this might be something else that you can try. Otherwise, we're keeping that left leg straight and you're in Vashisthasana. And then to flip it back, right hand down, step the right foot forward. So everyone step the right foot forward, turn the left heel down, warrior two, and we'll take this to triangle pose. So straightening both legs, shift the hips to the left, keep your spine nice and long. So if I had a T, an upside down T, my spine would be the long stem of the T, not curved. If you can, you're going to just gently gaze up toward your left hand. Again, no wrinkles in the back of your neck. Think of your feet as those suction cups, right? Like imagining that you are drawing the energy up and out of the earth and bringing it up your beautiful, strong legs into your pelvis. And then from there, moving that energy into your heart. For anyone here who would like a little bit more in triangle, and again, this is not for you if your lower back has been an issue or you have anything going on, but if you want it, you can always extend your triangle, left arm by left ear, and maybe float that right arm up. Okay, and it can just be temporary. You could just play with it. But all the while, make sure that left shoulder is pointing toward the sky. Like we're not turning this into a forward fold in order to get that arm up. We want it to be nice and lateral, if you would, right? So however you choose to do this. And then go ahead and bring that right hand back to your thigh. Bring that left arm back up to the sky. And we'll turn this into side angle. Turn the left palm away from you if you like, and find that bind. So it's a half bind here. Bend the right knee. You can place the right forearm on that right thigh. And this could be it, right? You can just slide that left shoulder back and behind you. If you want the full bind, you can go for it. You can reach under the right thigh with the right hand, interlace, but then I want you to bring those knuckles under your thigh so that your head is directly over your knee. So this is what I see a lot of times with the bind. It's a corruption of side angle pose. This turns it into a forward fold. So instead, slide it back, straighten those elbows, and have that right ear over that right knee. You have 2 more breaths wherever you are. And I challenge you as well, if anybody feels comfortable with this, you could extend the right leg, turn it into a bound triangle, but it's a bit much, not for everyone. You can release your hands, bring them to the floor, turn onto the ball of the left foot and find a twist. So right arm up to the sky. And if you want a little bit more, lower the left knee, bend the left knee, and reach to the outer edge of your right foot with your right hand, right thumb pointing up. So I'm getting both a twist. I'm rolling that right shoulder up to the sky, and I'm pressing that left hip towards the floor. Right knee, 90-degree bend, left thigh at a diagonal. Totally up to you. Let's release it, step it back. You could take a vinyasa or meet me in downward facing dog. Left leg up, point the toe, open the hip. You can stay here. This is challenging. This is building upper body strength, core strength, and You could, if you like, bend the left knee. You could, if you like, try the flip the dog. Keep the right leg straight. Roll onto the outer edge of the right foot. Left foot comes down to the floor. So my left leg is like a tabletop. My right leg is Vashisthasana. And you can change it, right? You can extend the left arm by your ear and enjoy how that feels. It's a lot of core work. You're keeping your spine erect, right? You're not folding forward. And then option to flip that right foot as well. Turn it into a tabletop, like a one-arm tabletop. And some of you maybe could do a full wheel here, although I will not today. Back to my Vashisthasana. And then to flip the dog, left hand down, step your left foot through your hands. Warrior one. Straighten the left leg, preparing for triangle. Hips go right, fingers go left. And again, if I had a T, here's the top of the T from one hip point to the other, and here's the stem of the T. One long line. I'm not bending for triangle, right? I'm hinging at this left hip crease. So here's my triangle. And you might notice my hands, like on my other side, my hand was all the way up here. And here I can go a little lower. So we all have our past injuries and maybe some restrictions. Just work within your body and its abilities. If you can, you're looking up toward that thumb. Back of neck is long, no wrinkles. Keep trying to keep the neck long, both front and back. I know that's not what we do all day long. You know, I was thinking about our dancer pose with the hard and the soft, the sthira and the sukha. And I do think dancer pose is sort of a metaphor for life in many ways. Like think of all the things, all the pieces of dancer pose, right? Between the balancing, you're stretching your hamstring of the standing leg, you're stretching the hip flexor of the bent leg, you're stretching the shoulder of that arm, reaching back. Oh, options for triangle. If you want, you can extend your triangle, it might feel good. And depending on your core, right, you want to engage sides of your waist, pull the belly button and really engage that transverse abdominis. That's the one that wraps horizontally around you like a girdle. And you could, if you want, reach that left arm up. Again, if it's too much, let it go. Who cares? We all get an A. 2 more breaths. And then turn your gaze down, bend the left knee, and you can place that left forearm on your thigh, reach the right arm behind you. Maybe you can wiggle those right fingers onto that left thigh. It's up to you, but don't let that bind be an occasion for you to forward fold, right? We're still using the core, right? This is a lateral bend. And then for those of you who wanted the full bind, you're going to reach under. Yes, it's going to draw your head forward, but then you want to slide it back. So that left ear ends up over that left knee and not here, right? No forward fold. Yeah. And then again, you get to decide here if you want to straighten the left leg for that bound triangle. I want to point out also, my hands are not in my groin. Not that that's not a great place for you to put your hands some other time. But what we want here is we want the bind to happen under the thigh. Okay, and you want those shoulders to remain beautiful and open. Whether the left knee is bent or straight is totally up to you. We're almost there. Two more breaths. And then we can release it. We're going to take that twist. So ball the right foot, left arm to the sky. Option to lower the right knee, bend the right knee, and reach around with the left hand. I may have had my directions wrong on the other side, but your thumb is pointing up of that left hand. Yeah, and you want to
move that left shoulder back and around. I'm looking behind me. I'm actually looking toward that shoulder and toe. Nice. So we are going to get a hip stretch in. We'll try pigeon pose. And I've got a couple of options for pigeon. Just a few more breaths here. If you know that face down pigeon is not for you, you're going to release and you're going to sit off to your hip, swing the leg around, and let's start you with your left ankle on the right thigh, and you can hug in. And just notice my left hand is through the triangle formed by my legs. And maybe you've got super long arms, you could reach the shin. For the rest of us, so we were here. We're going to walk that left foot over toward the right hand and then lay that knee down. And then from there, I want to make sure this right hip drops down so that both of my hips are equidistant from the floor. I mean, those hip points, right? You can come up to your fingertips if you like for back bend here. And then as you exhale, melt your way down onto your elbows, stacking fists, forehead, backs of hand, or forehead on my stacked fist, whichever one. If you want to go deeper, of course, you can separate those elbows wide, flatten your hands, forehead, back of hands. And if you want, you can have full prostration, walking those palms out in front of you, chest down, and either chin or forehead on the mat. Let's take 5 breaths. Use the exhalation to let go. Allow that to deepen the pose just by relaxing through the muscles. Now, for those of you on your back, go ahead and place the feet on the floor and lift your hips up for the bridge. For the rest of us, we're going to come onto our hands here under the shoulders and lift the heart up. I did mean to do a Sphinx pose here, but maybe we'll figure that out after. And then go ahead, and if you're on your back, you're going to lower down and you're going to cross your right ankle over the left thigh. For the rest of us, we're going to put the right leg in front and step the left leg back. Just make sure the right knee is outside the right hand, and you're going to wriggle those right toes up towards that left wrist. Yeah. You can come on up first for a little bit of a back bend, and then melt your way down onto your elbows. Stack fists, forehead on fist, or go lower. You can extend the elbows wide. Flatten your hands, forehead, back of hands, or full prostration. Walk your hands out in front, palms flat on the floor, and either your chin or your forehead to the floor. See if you can just use the next 5 exhalations to let go of something you no longer need. If you're on your back, you can go ahead and uncross. Place feet on floor and lift up for a bridge. For the rest of us, hands under shoulders, lift yourself up, maybe fingertips. There's your little back bend. And then what I'd like to do from here, so if you're on your back, you're going to roll to your front. We're going to step back, lower down onto our forearms. Palms are flat. So this is, again, if you were just going to do one pose, instead of sinking into our shoulders, I'm not sure if you can see this, but I'm kind of sinking down. I want you to lift your heart up, and you can slide your elbows in a little bit closer. Point your toes behind you and lift your kneecaps up. Breathe in, breathe out. And if you wanted a little variation on this, turn your left hand to reach toward your right, bend the right knee, and maybe go ahead and take a hold. Right, you can or not, and then you could try the other way. Keep the pubic bone aiming down, keep the lower back long. Like you want your tailbone aiming towards your heels, not the sky. And release. Beautiful. Let's roll onto our backs. Scoot down on our mat. Separate your feet nice and wide and windshield wipe your knees from side to side. We will take a 5-minute Shavasana here. If you have more time, make it 10 minutes. And the alternative is if you still have a pose that you'd like, go ahead and stop the recording here, pause, and you could do your other pose and then come back for Shavasana. All right, go ahead and just extend those legs out into a comfortable V. You'll use your hands to move the flesh of your buttocks beneath you. So that way the hip points feel like they are spreading wide, knees and toes pointing out to either side. And then do the same with your shoulder blades. So tuck one blade under and then the other. Use your scapula. You're doing scapular retention, or you want to make sure that you're creating a little cleavage behind you so that your collarbones can broaden and your palms face up to the sky. If there's any tension in the back of your neck, you can always tuck your chin here and then release it and see if that feels better. Looking for the same length in the front and the back of your neck, eyes closed, lips closed, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Please feel free to use a mantra here. Mantra is simply a mind tool, mind vehicle. And you can choose to do this in English. As you inhale, you can think rising. As you exhale, you can think falling. And if you want it in Sanskrit, so hum is beautiful. So inhale so, which means I am. Exhale hum, which means that. And that expression to me means like we are all one, we are whole, we are one with the universe. I am that. I am all that is. Inhale so, exhale hum. Breathing in, breathing out. So hum. In, out, rising, falling. So hum. Remaining still, take this moment to acknowledge yourself for showing up to your yoga practice today. Know that you have all the tools you need through your pranayama, breath work, through your dharana, your concentration, your dhyana, meditation, and of course, your asana, your poses, to recreate this feeling of peace and ease whenever you desire. Understanding that life is 50-50, our experience of it. It's the hard and the soft, the sthira and the sukha. And as Patanjali said, your yoga practice shall have both the steady and the ease. Sthira sukham asanam. Thank you so much for being here today. If you are listening to the recording, please be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I look forward to seeing you all again. Namaste.